skip to content. Twitter Inc.'s push into live video and more personalized content is finally starting to pay off, boosting revenue and profit more than projected in the first quarter by luring users and advertisers. Sales jumped 21%, the most in 2 years, to $664.9 million, Twitter said Wednesday in a statement. That surpassed the average analyst's estimate of $605.9 million, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. The social media network, originally known for its 140-character posts, said monthly active users rose to 336 million, up by 6 million from the prior period and slightly ahead of analysts' predictions. The numbers validate a growing view among analysts that the company has stabilized after a rocky few years, when it struggled to compete for ad dollars with the likes of Facebook Inc. and Google's YouTube. Since Twitter reported a third-quarter earnings beat in October, its shares have rallied more than 50% and been upgraded by at least 8 analysts. The strong revenue and user growth also indicates that escalating concerns about social media companies' data collection practices so far haven't eroded Twitter's business. There's just been a continued global interest in news and information that's a good tailwind for Twitter, especially as their products improve, said Richard Greenfield, an analyst at BTIG, before the company's results were released. They're iterating the product more in the last 2 years than they have in the past 7. Chief Executive Jack Dorsey, who also runs Square Inc., has focused on making Twitter more useful, including streaming programming such as National Football League highlights and recaps of series such as Game of Thrones. The company is applying artificial intelligence to put the most relevant tweets at the top of people's feeds, and has added features that curate tweets, photos and videos around events. Twitter said daily active users increased 10% in the recent period, marking the 6th consecutive quarter of double-digit increases. The company doesn't give a total number for daily active users. More of Twitter's growth is coming from international markets as the U.S. gets saturated. Monthly active users in the U.S. increased by 1 million from the fourth quarter to 69 million. Internationally, monthly active users grew to 267 million users from 262 million. Revenue in the U.S. increased 2% year-over-year, while international revenue jumped 53%. Dorsey has been honing the platform into a place to see what's happening now, and positioning the site as the place to find out about live events from news to concerts. Awareness of Twitter's brand has also gotten a boost from frequent tweets by public figures such as President Trump, who is among the platform's most high-profile users. Global events such as the Olympic Games and government elections also help to drive user growth. And as Twitter has worked to root out terrorist content and abusive trolls, advertisers' perceptions of the platform are also improving, according to a survey conducted by RBC Capital Markets and Ad Age. Twitter's video ad product continues to perform well as advertisers continue to look for higher-quality online video impressions, wrote Morgan Stanley analyst Brian Novak, a longtime Twitter bear who upgraded the stock to equal weight last week, citing improved personalization that's keeping users on Twitter for longer. Marking its second quarter of profit under generally accepted accounting principles, Twitter posted net income of $61 million, or 8 cents a share, in the first quarter. That compared with analyst projections for a net loss of 2 cents on average. Profit excluding some costs was 16 cents a share, exceeding estimates for 12 cents. The company gave a second quarter outlook for adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization of $245 million to $265 million. Analysts estimated $218 million. Bloomberg LP produces TikTok, a global breaking news network for the Twitter service. Though Twitter seems to have found a path for growth, Dorsey is being pressed to follow in the footsteps of Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and testify before Congress about data privacy. Twitter, Facebook and Google are all facing calls for potential regulation on internet companies following revelations that political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica harvested private data from approximately 87 million Facebook users. Twitter itself was found to be overrun by Russian bots during the 2016 U.S. election cycle. Twitter continues to address criticism that it hasn't done enough to combat the spread of misinformation, harassment, and manipulation from automated posts. Last month, Dorsey asked the public to propose solutions to make the social network a nicer place by measuring collective health, openness, and civility of public conversation. Twitter is working on a transparency center to show how much political campaigns spend on advertising, and the company endorsed the proposed Honest Ads Act, a Senate bill that would subject online political ads to the same sort of disclosure rules that govern similar content on TV and radio.